Yo, YouTube, it's Pay, and I'm back to give you my opinion unwarrantedly on another trending topic. So today we're going to be talking about Drake. And Drake, not specifically just in the manner of talking about him as a musician or anything that he's really doing necessarily, more of what he's not doing or what he hasn't done. So recently, obviously, there's been a lot of stuff going on with Ye.
My view were thugs that shook people down did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good things too. We're gonna stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay.
Great, like, you know, blacks are overrepresented in violent crime. But when you meet an individual black person, you don't apply that. You start with a fresh slate every time you meet someone. Do you do that with Jews? Nope.
I don't think that's a shocker for me to say that. I don't think I'm catching anyone off guard by saying that. But a lot of stuff has happened with Ye over the past like 2 to 3 months that just kind of came out of left field. Now, obviously, Drake and Ye were beefing in 2021 for the majority of the year, going back and forth, sending subtle shots. And, they had the competition with Donda versus CLB, and fans were picking sides and all that, absolutely wonderful positive stuff and positive energy. But, they ended up making up, doing a concert together or whatever, and everything seemed fine. So from about late 2021 till now, everything seemed pretty okay. Doesn't seem like they're taking shots at each other or anything like that. But recently, Ye has kind of gone on this tangent where he's turned into Yadolf.
I am Adolf Hitler, commander of the Third Reich. Little known fact, also dope on the mic.
I don't really know what's going on with that necessarily, but a lot of people are pretty upset. I think fairly so. And yeah, it's just been a really crazy time for anyone that's been paying attention to anything going on with Ye. But obviously, Ye's been going really, really hard at Jewish people in the Jewish community. And obviously, Drake is not a fully black man. His mother is a Jewish person. So there's been a little bit of controversy, and people are kind of upset with Drake. A lot of people want Drake to speak up and, give his opinions and talk about why what Ye's saying is bad and disavow him and all that stuff. And I'm here to say that, honestly, I hope Drake does say, like, I disavow this stuff, or I hope Drake does come out and say that he's not in support of what Ye's been saying recently. But I don't need Drake's opinion. I don't think anyone needs Drake's opinion. I hope he doesn't come out and give some statement, or I hope he doesn't do an interview or a podcast where he talks about it. I really don't care for what Drake has to say, and I don't think anyone should care about what Drake has to say. And actually, I'm going to be, using my phone a little bit because, I don't have the best memory in the world. But basically, we all know what's been going on. We all know what Ye's been saying. We all know what type of interviews he's been going on. We all know the people he's been surrounding himself with. And if you don't, let's just say they're Yahtzee players, but Yahtzee is spelled a little bit differently in this case, but it's with an N, So some of these guys are just blatant Yahtzees. It's just blatantly. Like, I'm sorry. But that's the people Ye's been around, and that's the type of rhetoric he's been spewing. And so basically, Drake, he is a very powerful guy in terms of his influence on people. He is. There's no denying that. But we really don't need extensive commentary from Drake because Drake's a rapper. And not saying that, just rap, pick up the mic and shut up. Like, no, he is a rapper in the sense of he's just like, a party, turn up, feelings rapper. He's not a conscious rapper. He's not a rapper that blew up from giving his opinions on social issues. He's not a rapper that gives a lot of social commentary. He's not somebody you listen to when you really want to hear about how messed up the world is and what we need to do to fix it. He's not that guy. He's never been that guy, ever. And I'm not trying to say that Drake is dumb, but I just don't think that there's anything that he could say that would really be impactful on a high level. There's nothing that he can say that would really matter.
Say that you a lesbian, girl, me too.
Is what I'm trying to get at. Well, I don't want to say matter, but it won't really be anything worth a damn. Like, of course, whatever Drake says is going to matter because he's Drake. He has millions of followers, millions of fans, but it's just not going to be anything that's high level. What he says isn't going to be something that makes you really reflect on the situation. Whatever he says won't be something that, is something no one else had ever said. It's just not going to be a very high level response to a very, very trying topic at the moment. It's just not. And, you know, if you guys were talking about Cole and Kendrick, like, oh, well, I really want to know what J. Cole has to say about this. I really want to know what Kendrick Lamar has to say about this. That would at least be a little bit more sensible, because those guys speak on topics that are very impactful in society. But Drake just has never been that guy. So if you were talking about, I want to know what these guys think, that'd be one thing. But Drake, he's just not that guy. And again, I understand that he is Jewish, or at least his mother is Jewish, and that he does have a great influence. And I think that he should say at least something, at least at the very least, just be like, I don't really support this. I'm not rocking with anything Ye's talking about. Don't associate yourself with that, and I'm not going to associate myself with that. That's all he needs to do. But giving some real thought out response, giving some real commentary on the situation, giving his thoughts, giving his feelings, giving his opinion, I don't think it matters. It really, really doesn't. Again, like, the odds of him saying something super high level are just so low. And I think we saw enough of celebrities giving these, you know, surface level takes on societal issues in 2020.
I wanted to say the right thing, and I was really nervous that I wouldn't, or that it would get picked apart. And I realized the only wrong thing to say is to say nothing.
I saw enough of it, at least for myself personally. I was sick of it, you know, with the whole Black Lives Matter stuff. And just celebrities giving their opinion because they felt forced to, because they felt like they had to say something, or, you know, they would be associated with the bad side. And I just don't think it's necessary anymore. We already saw how that went. It didn't go well. We don't need any more celebrity opinions. We really, really don't. Especially on stuff that is actually impactful on society, actually matters. You know, at the very least, you can say you don't rock with it, but I don't need his opinion. Let Drake be a rapper. Let's let rappers rap. And I think that's a large problem with our society right now, especially our community. We rely too much on celebrities. We rely too much on athletes. We rely too much on rappers. We don't need their opinion. We don't need, that's not what they're there to do. At least not somebody like Drake. I won't say all rappers and all athletes, because a lot of athletes, you know, have really big platforms where they talk about societal issues and they give out actually well thought out responses and their own opinions that are actually, you know, thorough and well thought and in depth. But for somebody like Drake, we don't need his take on the situation in order to have our own take. We don't need that. And I think we've had a lot of issues with that recently. And, you know, it's a thing for a lot of black kids, like, oh, all we have to look up to is athletes and rappers. But it's not true. It's not. We don't need Drake's opinion. We don't. And, you know, there's just been so much commentary already surrounding the conversation with Ye that Drake couldn't say anything that any of these guys haven't already said. He just couldn't. There's been plenty of people with a lot, you know, more developed minds in terms of this type of conversation who have already given their opinion. We don't need Drake's. We don't. People are too dependent on these big time celebrities to be their beacons of hope and their heroes and their idols when he's not that guy. You know, I wouldn't ask Drake, hey, how do I bake a pie? Because he didn't get popular from baking pies. And I know that's really random, but still, the point remains. He didn't get popular from speaking on social issues. He didn't get popular for rapping about the problems in the world today. So why do I care what he has to say about it? I don't. Not saying he can't give his opinion, but I don't need it. Let me rephrase that. He can give his opinion. I'm not saying, Drake, shut up, don't do anything, don't speak your mind. Because I'm in full support of people speaking their opinions, but I don't need it. I don't care about it. I don't think we can't move on in this conversation until Drake says something, you know? And Drake's not Malcolm X. He's not MLK. There's nothing about Drake and his character that is, you know, at least somewhat reminiscent of somebody who gives off social commentary. That's just not him. And nobody is calling for other Jewish celebrities to speak on the Ye situation. You know, nobody's like, oh my God, why hasn't Adam Sandler said anything? Or why hasn't Seth Rogen said anything? But we obviously are doing that with Drake. Now, obviously, Drake is a rapper and he's a lot closer tied in with Ye than Seth Rogen or Adam Sandler. But still, we don't need that opinion. We don't. And people that are looking for it and desperately upset with Drake because he hasn't, you don't need it. You don't need it. Let it go. Let Drake be a rapper. Let Drake be the party rapper that makes, you know, songs for the club and songs for the ladies. Let him do that. He doesn't have to give his well thought out response to Ye saying that, you know, Jewish people are this and Jewish people are that. He doesn't need to do that. We don't need that from him. And we should be able to move on from that. Allow other people who actually take over these types of spaces to give their thoughts. listen to somebody besides your favorite rapper on a societal issue. Like, I would never sit there and be like, damn, man, like, I wonder what YoungBoy thinks about this. Like, no, it's just kind of silly. It is. Obviously, again, saying that Drake should disavow it is one thing, but people mad that he hasn't given some statement on it, and mad that he hasn't given his opinion, and mad that he hasn't, sat down and had a conversation about it. Like, just stop. We don't need that from him. There's so many other people you could be listening to. And I know it sounds like I'm trying to advertise myself, but I'm not. Just in general, there's so many people on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. Every social media site, there's somebody talking about the Ye situation and actually giving a good take. There's way too many people out there giving good takes on the situation for us to be looking like, why hasn't Drake said anything? He's Jewish. Like, he should be talking about this because he's Jewish. Like, no, we don't need that from him. But it's just a problem that we have. We look towards these guys. We look towards Drake. We look towards LeBron for their social commentary. And LeBron does offer a lot more social commentary than Drake, but still.
I said he was probably gonna score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me.
Cap.
We don't need anything from them. Allow Drake to just be a rapper. Just let him be the funny guy, pretty boy rapper. Just let him do that. We don't need his opinion on this. There's just no need for it, because I guarantee you whatever Drake says won't be his own words, because there's going to be over 100 people looking over the script of what he's supposed to say. Okay, what are we going to say, Drake? He probably won't write it. He probably won't really even have that much input anyway. It won't be genuine, authentic words from Aubrey Drake Graham. It'll be through an editing team of 100 people making sure that everything he says is perfect and fits perfectly into what we need him to say. It's not going to even be Drake's words. So we don't need it. We just don't. Allow Drake to just be a rapper. Let the rapper be a rapper. If he wants to give his opinion, fine. But there should be no one demanding that Drake gives his opinion on the situation. There should be nobody begging for Drake to give his thoughts on this, because we don't need it. We really don't. But, maybe we do need Drake's thoughts. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Drake's opinion on the situation. Maybe Drake's got some really good stuff up here that we just don't know about. But I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. And I think it's okay to let celebrities just celebrity sometimes. Just let them celebrity, especially when they're not somebody that's ever spoken on stuff like this. If we were looking for Kendrick to say something, that's one thing. I can at least understand that, even though, again, we don't need Kendrick's opinion. Nobody needs it. We shouldn't be calling for it. But his opinion would probably be a little bit more insightful than Drake's. I don't think that's a hot take for me to say. But yeah, man, just let these celebrity. Nobody needs to be demanding that Drake gives his opinion on the Ye situation. We don't need that. We don't need to demand that Drake gives an opinion. If you want to demand that Drake disavows it and says he doesn't rock with it and doesn't support it, that's one thing. But to ask for him to give his opinion, why hasn't he given us some sort of statement? Stop. Please stop. There's so many other people you could be listening to than Drake. There's so many other people you could be listening to than the certified lover boy. Come on now. And that's not me downplaying Drake. I love Drake's music, but still. Like, let's be honest. But if you made it this far in the video, I greatly appreciate it. If you think everything I said in this video was dumb and we do need Drake's opinion, let me know in a comment down below. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Maybe I shouldn't be speaking. Maybe I shouldn't have a microphone. But if you made it this far, thank you regardless. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, do all that, whatever the stuff that you're supposed to do. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Peace.